ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Today in front of you I have a new release from Praesidus Watch Company. They're based in the United States. This watch is actually assembled in the United States of America, which is pretty cool. It's actually a new release, and I believe it's live on their website. I believe the price is $295 US. I'll drop a link to them down in the description below. If you like what you see, you can always head over there and check them out after the video. Anyway, it's obviously, a throwback to the 1963 kind of rec spec watch. They mainly produce watches that are kind of like homages to watches used in eras of war, World War II a lot, that they did use. And this one is a very nice kind of field watch, as you can see, with applied Romans, very bold, a nice olive green dial, domed crystal, very good quality as well. And as you can see, I believe it does state United States Assembly right there, which is always good to see. Now, the watch does come with two extra straps. It actually comes with a leather band, and it comes with kind of a fabric band with a leather backing, which is pretty cool as well. It does come on this nice tropic rubber style band, which I actually really do like, and I definitely keep it on this one. I found it to be the most comfortable. That's just, my personal opinion, my personal comfort. But yeah, it's definitely a pretty interesting watch. I mean, if you take a look at it, the crown is tucked all the way in, so you're not going to knock that crown at any angle. No crown guards needed. It's fully guarded, the crown, inside the case, which is pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, let me show you the packaging, and let's get right into it. Now, the rec spec does come in this cardboard box with some camo, as you can see here. May 1968, which is kind of the homage to that watch. MACV SOG field watch. Pretty simple packaging. Nothing too crazy. As you can see, Praesidus Watch Company. And then inside here, you do get your warranty. The watch will come on this little cardboard. And then you do get your instruction manual, as you can see here. And then you do get your international warranty, which is, probably guys already know, which is that, I believe it's the dog tag that they always use. I'll show you guys, 1 second. They actually use like little dog tags as warranties. Yes, they still do. As you can see, it's a little dog tag, and you scan that for your warranty. Not just very different, obviously. I'm pretty sure they're the only company that does that. But anyway, that is your international warranty. Now, the strap ration box, as you can see, kind of very ration box style. Kind of looks like, what food rations would come in during World War II and such, which is actually pretty cool. Does come with the extra bands in each box. As you can see here, this is the fabric band with the rectangular buckle, as you can see. Then you get a leather backing. Yeah, pretty nice band, decent quick release pins as well. And you also do get a nice leather vintage style band, which is pretty decent. Genuine leather, as you can see, kind of that vintage faded effect on it with the same exact buckle. Quick release as well. Very flexible, straight out of the box. None of these bands will need time to break in, which is always a good thing. Now, the watch itself, let's get some basic specs out of the way. We're looking at 38 millimeters, definitely a smaller field watch, which kind of reflects that era in 1968. Most of the watches were smaller. I assume, besides huge diving watches, like huge Panerai old vintage ones, maybe. But most of the watches are pretty, small. 38, 40 millimeters max, 36 even, most of them. So yeah, definitely true to size of that era. 38 across. We have 45 millimeters top to bottom, which is really nice. 38 and 45 top to bottom. 20 millimeters in between the lugs. Only 12 millimeters thin. Very thin watch. Not super thin, but 12 millimeters is pretty thin. As you can see, there is a nice domed crystal on this watch for that vintage aesthetic. It's not a actual sapphire crystal. It's a sapphire coated K1 glass. But still, it feels pretty durable. It looks very nice. It looks very legible from all different angles. Doesn't really reflect, which is always good to see. As you can see, the light's right on it, and you can still read the time perfectly, which is always good, of course. We do want to read that time. Now, the dial itself is at olive green. We get nice applied Romans. We get rectangular hands filled with lume. There's also lume on all of these Romans going around the dial here, which glows green, and the lume is actually pretty good. We get a cutout over at the 3 o'clock position for the day and the date in black and white, which is also very legible. Then we get printed rec spec 24 joules, which, is the movement inside of this watch. It's using a Seiko automatic caliber, which is the NH36. It's a day and date function. You get 24 joules, you get hand winding, hacking, quick set day and date, beats at 3 hertz, 21,600 beats per hour. Most of you guys are very familiar with these movements. They run pretty accurate, +5, -5, +10, -10, around there. You can expect, from most of these watches with Seiko NH movements. They last a long time. They're very reliable. They're pretty durable, pretty tough movements as well. Very easy to fix and service if something should happen. But yeah, getting the movement out of the way. The case itself is mostly brushed. It's brushed on the sides. We get nice chamfering over here, and also on the bezel over here, which is polished. Crown is tucked away. I'll show you that in a second. But the brushing is pretty good. I don't see any sharp edges or anything like that on this model. Fully brushed on the flank as well, with that nice chamfer of polishing. But the back is actually sandblasted and screwed down. 50 meters of water resistance. So definitely not one to actually, take swimming with you. I would definitely not do that. But as you can see, it does state Praesidus, assembled in the USA, and Japan automatic movement. And you can see this is a quick release band, vulcanized rubber. So this is a vulcanized rubber, which means it's real rubber. It's really flexible, this band. Really broken in. That's how it comes, just really flexible. And you get a sandblasted buckle as well to match the sandblasted case back. But yeah, this is the NH36 inside here. As you can see, it's already running the movement. You can shake it to get it running, or you can wind it as well. Now the crown is tucked away, so your first position, of course, is winding without pulling out the crown. So you can wind it kind of with one finger, kind of very similar to the Orient Star series. And you can wind it like that. You don't really need to. You can kind of just shake it if you want. You can pull out one position. You get a quick set date and day of the week as well. Final position is hacking. And you can set the time here. You kind of have to use like one finger. I mean, I can kind of get in there with my nail. But it's easier just to use one finger and go like this. And then set the time, push it back down, and you're all good to go. No need for crown guards. The crown is basically non-visible. You can't even see it, which is pretty cool. I haven't really seen a smaller brand do something like this before, so it's definitely something very different. Anyway, yeah, I want to get you guys a lume shot, because the lume is actually really good on this watch. I was quite surprised by that, so let's take a look. So I did go ahead and lume it up with the torch for about 10 seconds. Those numerals are really on point. I mean, perfectly filled. It is super luminova. It glows green on the hands as well, on the hour and the minutes hand. Just super potent. As you can see, it doesn't fade quickly, which is very nice to see, especially on a field watch. It's not a dive watch, so I think for a field watch, this lume is very, very good. Now, mounted to my 6.5-inch wrist, as you can see, top to bottom 45, fits perfectly across my wrist. At 38, it wears really nice. It's not too small, but it's not too big. I think it's the perfect size for a field watch like this, for that vintage aesthetic. And it's really easy, you can really read the time at a glance on this watch. It's very legible, even with that domed crystal. It doesn't really distort at angles, as you can see, which is really nice. The band, like I stated, is very comfortable straight out of the box. There is no need to break it in or anything like that, so don't worry about that. Just a very nice, comfortable fit. I wouldn't say it's heavy or light. I'd say it's a nice weight to it. You definitely can feel it on the wrist, but it's not super light either. So yeah, strap, very nice. Definitely, like I stated earlier, I like it on this rubber band. So furthermore, guys, if you're looking for something with a nice vintage aesthetic that is a field watch, and you don't want to go for something like Hamilton or something of that nature that costs like $400 or $500, definitely a good option. Something that you can wear every day, something that can be dressed up or dressed down. If you throw this on a nice leather band, obviously it's going to be a bit more dressy. A bit more sporty, I'd say, on the rubber band. But if you want to, wear a suit or something, or a shirt and tie, you can definitely throw it on the leather band. It would look right at home there. Yeah, definitely looks really nice. I like the dial. I like how it's very legible. The finishing kind of has a nice vintage aesthetic, and somehow, as you can see, I don't know how, but it kind of has a vintage look to it. They just really knocked this one out of the park. Yeah, I think they did a really good job. I haven't seen anything that looked like this come out from another brand so far. So yeah, they're definitely doing some pretty cool stuff over there at Praesidus. They do ship from the USA. Shipping is really quick, about 2 to 3 days if you're in the United States, which is always good. And yeah, I didn't find any quality control issues or anything like that. I think for $295, it's a pretty decent bundle. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below as usual. This is Watch Addiction Watch Reviews with the new Praesidus Rec Spec from Praesidus Watch Company. Let me know what you guys think. Throw the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of reviews coming up. I'll definitely see you on the next one, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.